Blasphemy.
Freebird. Coming to you not quite live from Pineda Studios. I'm Sascha Saintevic. With me is Briano Hawk. Briano, how you doing?
All right.
Doing great?
Yeah.
2016 seems to be the graveyard where all music legends go to die.
Yeah, looks like it.
Prince is dead.
Yep.
Along with a couple of others we lost so far. I mean, do we start a Deadpool on who's going next? I know that seems a bit morbid to mention it that way, but you really start wondering who exactly is going to go in the next, 8 months we have left?
Yep. That is...
How'd you feel when, Prince, we mentioned in a few episodes, you were a big fan of Prince.
Yeah, I mentioned Prince a lot because he is a big influence to many musicians, and he was in my life as a child because of my brother. So yeah, it's a big loss, to the music community, but I'm damn sure the music industry, like the companies, are happy because he was one of the biggest people against them and talking crap about them and trying to get other people to, do what he was doing, and people made fun of him because of it, because some of the statements he made, like
you said what he was
internet
doing.
is dead.
Yeah, can you be? But, that's a bit of an odd statement.
It was actually the fact that the internet as a music industry is killing musicians because they're not paying them. That's what the statement was actually for. And so, yeah, it's an odd statement put out there. It's like the internet is dead. People made fun of him, but when he clarified it, people were like, well, yeah, that's true.
Didn't we have an episode, though, where we sort of took the opposite side to that? The Naps episode we did?
Yeah, no, that's,
it's don't have a problem.
Here's the thing is, yes, I know. It's Prince was really against artists not getting paid. I do think an artist should get paid, but I don't think they should, throw a big old hissy fit when you can get all your music online pretty damn quickly and easily. They should be appreciative that the fans are actually trying to buy or get their stuff, and they do actually go buy the albums when you can find an album, because it's harder to, find an actual CD or a, record now, in a record shop or, whatever, because they're all dying off because of the internet, and this artists actually make more money with, sales of CDs, not sales on like iTunes, because iTunes doesn't pay the artists for the most part.
They do get some fraction.
They get a penny, if even. It's like they don't get very much, and that's actually one statement that Prince was going against, and he made it really difficult for anyone to listen to his stuff online because somehow he got all his stuff pulled from the internet except for one place, and people were it was a controversy. I forgot what the name of the place is, but there's a controversy because everyone has to pay for everything, but they actually pay the artists first, and then they give whoever else needs to do it, which is kind of cool, And it's funny though, because I was reading during his death, I was reading up on some stuff, and I didn't even know, but Taylor Swift actually went against iTunes, inspired by Prince.
Yeah, I think, didn't we mention that?
No, I didn't know that. And so I'm thinking, hey, you actually went one up on my notch there, Taylor Swift. You actually stood up against one of the giants, and people are backing you. So well, that's cool.
She was pissed off she wasn't getting paid. That was her main priority.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing is, a lot of artists are like that, and she's one of the bigger artists.
Well, not to hijack the conversation, but away from Prince's death. But I think you brought up something interesting that we can explore further, because it's a bit of a dichotomy people create when they talk about the topic of streaming music. It's always like, do you believe music should be free for everybody, or do you want to take money away from the artist? Because neither one is really a priority for either side in the conversation. No one's thinking, no, musicians shouldn't get paid when they're streaming music. No one's thinking, no, it should all be anarchy. When it comes to how you take it, my position has always been the technology is already there. You can't police this. You can try to put restrictions on as much as possible. I think you may have a microphone jack there.
Yep.
You need to connect it.
You're good. I can hear you. You're fine. Okay, fine. Don't pay attention to me. Fine. I could already hear you.
Yeah, I know. I know. 'Cause for those of you guys who are not watching, who are listening, Briano Hawk, in his great audio engineering wisdom, just took a big swipe with his hand and unplugged a microphone from its jack.
Not the microphone. I unplugged my headphones. Like I said, I could already hear you before you started messing with it. You just you don't want to listen to me, you pedantic little German bastard.
You want to have this conversation? Oh,
who
doesn't
Irish, like to listen when I tell him something. He thinks he knows everything, but he doesn't because, obviously I could hear everything.
Why don't you shove a potato in your mouth? Irish.
Yeah,
Look at the Irish.
Yeah.
You want to go there?
I'm not very lucky,
You want to go there? Apparently not.
Yeah.
It skipped you.
Sure.
Because you don't have the ginger gene, that's why.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I don't got a ginge in the minge.
You don't have
a tinge of the ginge.
In your minge?
In my minge.
You'll fake it.
Yeah. Actually, I do, just a bit.
Yeah, you have to let it grow out and then let the sun, and then like kind of from the side looking at it.
Yeah.
All right, back to what I was saying as far as streaming music. Look, no one's arguing, well, some people might be arguing, but I don't know, when a musician, especially a big musician, whether it's Prince or Taylor Swift, starts complaining about how I'm not being paid on something that you can't control, you can't really police to any great effect. You can try to put limitations on it and restrictions in certain sites, what they do, what certain streaming sources are going to do, but these days the programming and coding is so easy on these things, as well as file sharing, that a kid can pretty much do it, and kids do it, and they will continue to do it, and they're going to get better at it. So to complain, you're kind of whistling into the wind.
The thing is, it's not that Taylor Swift is complaining that she's not getting paid. I mean, yeah, she knows that people are taking music from torrent sites and stuff like that. All the musicians do. Mm-hmm. It's the sites that are saying that you actually have to pay for to use it. They're not getting paid by those people. iTunes isn't paying the artists that they're selling. Spotify doesn't really pay for the use of all the stuff. Pandora doesn't pay the artists for it. They're paying the companies. They're paying the rights to play the music, but they're not paying the artists.
No, when it comes to
all those streaming things that we're talking about, that's what Prince was mentioning. The internet is dead because of all of that. There's so many streaming sites for music, YouTube, all that stuff, and they're not getting paid for it. So he knows, and Prince put out his latest album in the Sun or whatever it was in Britain for free. He sent it in the newspaper for free. So it's not like, oh, well, I'm not getting paid. He could care less about that.
No, I think he cared about that.
He did that. No, he did that on purpose.
I'm not disagreeing what you're saying, but you cannot say he couldn't. He did not care.
No, that's the thing. He cared less.
They all care about getting paid.
He cared less in the fact of that. Because if he cared about, oh no, I'm not making my money, I'm not going to do anything without my money, he wouldn't have done that. But he did.
Yeah,
he put out his latest album for free. To all the newspapers in Britain. And he was like, it's a statement to the fact that people need to start listening to the album, start listening to the better quality of the CDs and all that stuff. And that's what that was. So it's not like, oh, well, he's just a money grabber. It's like, no, because if he was a money grabber, he wouldn't have done that. That's one statement there.
If somebody...
And yes, there are artists who just want the money. Metallica. Yeah, that's all they want is their money. They will not do a show unless you're paying them. They won't do anything unless they're getting paid.
No,
and yes,
hold on a second. No musician artist, if they're not getting paid for the work, they shouldn't do the show or anything.
It's not that they shouldn't do it. It's the fact that they won't do it. Foo Fighters do free shows all the time.
If they don't want to, then they shouldn't.
But they do.
Okay, but
that's the statement.
I don't know who you're arguing against. You're not arguing with me, though.
No, that's the thing.
Are you arguing with some hypothetical person?
No, that is the thing. It's your statement is like, oh, no one should be doing it if they're not getting paid. Yes, they shouldn't, but they do.
No one should have to.
No, but they do, and that's the thing. It's not the statement that they should or shouldn't.
If they want to do it, they can have.
No,
go ahead, do whatever you want.
That they should or shouldn't. It's the fact that they won't do it no matter what because they're money grubbers. There are artists who don't care about the money. Yes, they like getting paid. Yes, they'll do their shows, and yes, they do all that stuff. But they actually do a lot of their stuff for free as well because they're like, you know what? We just want to get our music out there. We like playing. We like being around the fans. We like doing all that stuff. And so there are a lot of artists and bands who will do that. But there are also, it's like, hey, yeah, we'll do a show. It's going to be this much, blah, 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 whatever. Because yes, they have to pay bills just like everyone else.
Well, yeah.
So that's the thing. It's it's a statement. It's like, yeah, people shouldn't be stealing music, or the artists should be getting paid, and they get gripey when they don't get paid, and some of them don't care when their music is just getting taken because of the fact that yes, they see that they're getting put out there to the fans, and the fans are enjoying them, and yes, they'll buy the album when they can find it. Yeah,
it's not so much about not caring. I think it's more of a, what are you going to do? I'm just talking about the BitTorrent. Now, if you have with an actual online distributor, you have a contract and some contractual agreement where you're supposed to get paid for something, and they're gypping you on it. Yeah, you have every reason to gripe with them and argue with them and get what's worth to you as far as legally what's contractually obligated.
But that's the thing with,
but I think a lot of people have just given up with BitTorrenting and things like that. Like, there's no point in arguing or even going against it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I'm not arguing for, they shouldn't be having the BitTorrents. No, yes, have the BitTorrents, do all that stuff. Do you want to hear the albums? There's, like I said, it's hard to find some albums that you're looking for. The only way you can go is, okay, well, let me download it through the whatever, because iTunes doesn't carry it. The Beatles, you couldn't find the Beatles forever on iTunes. You can't find Prince anywhere on the internet unless you BitTorrent the thing, or you go to that one site, and it's like you can't download the songs from what I remember. You can only listen to them. So that's the thing is, yes, BitTorrents are there. It's it's a good thing in a sense, but it's also bad because people are losing out money. But if you're a site like iTunes, you should be paying the artists, because that site wouldn't be working properly and not, containing what, the money it's having if it wasn't for the artists on the music aspect. Yes, they do movies as well. I'm sure they pay differently for the movies for the people, because there's a whole different contract, and the movie industry will tell them nope, because they have a hell of a lot more, to do with stuff, because the studios will step up and it's like, we're not giving you our, product if you're not going to pay us what we ask to get paid. The music industry is a whole lot different thing, because the artists are getting paid by the company, or like BMI or whoever, and they're not getting the money from iTunes. iTunes is paying BMI or whoever the heck they have to pay, and they're not getting direct pay because of the fact that they don't have to. It's not in the contracts. Unless you're an independent artist, then maybe you get lucky and you get a good deal, but then iTunes will like, no, we're not going to do that. So that's the thing. It's all those things. It's, Spotify, whatever. They're not paying to use the artist's songs and the material what they should be paying. Like what if me and you were getting something, we have to pay a lot more than what they pay, and it goes almost directly to the album or to the artist if it was like independent artist.
Well, it also depends on how big of a name you are and how big of a draw you are, as well as how much you're gonna play ball with you.
Yes.
If you and I were even given a chance to be anywhere on that, we would probably get a lot shittier of a deal.
Oh yeah.
And even Taylor Swift or Prince or anybody else.
Yeah, no.
That's just the nature of the beast. That's how the business works. Because they're more likely to draw people than we are.
Yeah, no. That's the thing. Is it's if you're an artist, like you're a known artist, you're doing your thing, you should be getting paid what you're because you're bringing
in accordance to your demand.
No, it's not in accordance to your demand. You should be getting paid more than what what everyone else is getting paid in a sense, because you are bringing in the clientele in a sense. You are bringing in the sales, to bringing in the money.
How is the difference in accordance to your demand?
Because it's not your demand. It's not, okay,
your
well,
brand.
I'm demanding this.
No.
This is what I want.
You misunderstand. It's your brand.
No,
that's
it's
in
not.
demand.
It's I'm not saying Taylor Swift should get paid more than Prince, or Prince should get paid more than the Beatles, or whatever. I'm saying the fact that they have been there. They're bringing in the sales. They should get paid instead of 1 cent per song. They should get paid 5 cents per song.
They'd be paid more than us.
Like everyone else who's actually a established artist and has albums out there, they're making sales. Not, yes, if it was us and, people were downloading it and paying $1 and we're getting a cent out of it, I'd be happy. It was like, hey, people are actually listening to it and we're whatever. But if we get to where it's like, we're doing live events and we're whatever and blah, 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 and they're still paying us 1 cent and we're having to spend more money to do all their stuff, I'm like, no, we need to get paid 5 cents per thing for the fact that we are bringing in more clientele. We are, spending more to do what we have to do to give better shows to the people and whatever else. And so, yes, we should have that increase in pay from what our product is for
because less people want to see
for the fact that we are bringing in more people. That's really what it is. Yes.
So
if you're an established
as a commodity
artist,
are not in demand.
Yes, but the thing is, if you're an established artist, that means you're going to be on iTunes. That means iTunes shouldn't pay you anything less than, whatever it is. If you buy a song for $1, you should get 50 cents out of that $1.
Yeah, damn, we're going to tell them what
Yes, they won't. But that's what the thing is. They take 50, or even they take the better deal. They get 60 cents. You get 40 cents.
If you worked any kind of job that has any sort of products coming in and out, as I know we both have, what they pay the vendors, the stores do, as opposed to what they pay, what you have to pay as the public, is a lot cheaper, like almost criminally cheaper, if you know what it is.
That's
like
what I'm
cents.
Saying. You can always. I'm not saying what they spent for it. They're still making a profit off of it. If they paid 50 cents per song to the artist, they're still making 40 cents because or even like 49 cents because they get the damn thing for a penny, And you can give them even the better deal of like, okay, well, you pay the artist 40 cents and they take 60. They're still making a profit because of the fact they're not paying 60 cents for the song. They're paying 10 cents tops a song.
But you're not thinking in the sense of the way a corporation might think. They're not thinking of, hey, we're making a profit. They're thinking of, hey, we could making 100 times more of a profit.
Yes.
That's pretty much all that they're thinking. It's not about fair play.
Yes, I know. And that's the thing is they should be, because of the fact that, like I said, if it wasn't for the industry, the artists putting out the songs, these companies like iTunes and all that wouldn't be in business in the sense for the product that the musicians are selling. They wouldn't be working because, the musicians wouldn't be putting out the music and whatever. And so they should, in a sense, pay more because of the fact that it's an appreciation for, hey, you're keeping us in business. We're making money. You're making money. Everyone's happy. If you piss people off, what's going to happen? They're going to go somewhere else. They're going to stop, selling you the product. They're going to stop doing whatever the hell they're doing, Yeah,
but since they all pretty much follow the same model, so it's like I'm going to go somewhere else.
Except for the one that Prince actually backs, because he was like, no, these guys are actually doing the artist right. They pay the artist first. They make money, but they pay the artist first. And that's the thing is more companies should be doing that for all the entertainment stuff. Because yes, more and more musicians are going away and more and more of the artists are doing different things and going their own path and not doing as much music as they used to because of the fact they're not getting paid for it. And it's not becoming something that's going to be fun for them because they have to work their ass off. They have to do all this, corporate work stuff that they shouldn't even have to worry about just to make enough money to do their next album and come out ahead by like 5 cents.
Well, we've been dancing on this issue a little bit since this is a free for all. We can, I guess, finally just now. And it's a general statement, and you can agree with whatever you want. And so it's a question really for you. We'll get into it. The music companies, however you want to define them, the mainstream music companies, the major, are they the bad guys in your eyes?
I think they are. It's a good thing to get signed when you're not known. You're doing your thing. They'll help you out in a sense of putting you on a broad plane for everyone else and get your music out there.
Distribution.
But they're screw you every step of the way. Like I've stated before, they'll take 90% of the profit and then they give another 5% of the profit to something else out of the whole 100. So you get maybe 5% yourself as a whole collective band, not an individual, but the band. And so the band has to split that up by the however many members you have. So if you have 5 members, you have to split that 5% by 5 people. That's not very much for anybody. It's really not much for anybody. So that's the thing is the corporations and all them big stuff. There are a couple that try to help out, do the artists, the favor of giving them a better deal, whatever else. Then the more the longer you're with the company, yes, you're going to get a better deal because you're bringing in money and so on and so forth. The more money you make, the better for you. But the fact is, they shouldn't be doing that. I think they should just like, okay, we're going to help you out. We're going to get you in a wider audience, but you're going to spend your profit. You're going to do it all. We're not going to take anything. If we give it all, you have to pay us back. That's not what they'll do. It's like, oh, we put you out in all these markets. So you're paying out of your pocket, and everything you make, we're taking out of your pocket. So you're not even getting anything back. You're going to be losing most of your money. And if you get lucky, you'll make some, and then we'll take it from you again.
Sounds like a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, it's pretty much what it is. So that's the thing, is they're not the, best thing. But if you're a starting artist and you get approached by a big label, it is an amazing thing for you, I guess, because you're like, hey, we're going to get out there, we're getting known, so on and so forth. There are artists who stayed independent the whole life, and they've done well. And they'll tell you, it's like, no, I don't want to go through the corporate ladder and, big companies and stuff, because they're going to screw us. And I'd rather just do it myself and work my ass off and appreciate every cent I make, instead of work my ass off and complain at every cent they're taking.
Right. Well, to a large degree, it might be because to these companies, they see the artists as employees rather than that they should, either collaborators or partners or someone that they work with. I don't think they see
them as employees. I think they see them as cash cows.
Commodities?
Just cash cows, and that's it. They sell their product. When it's not good anymore, they get rid of them. That's really all it is. If they saw them as an employee, they'd probably treat them fair. But they don't.
They'd have to follow labor laws.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oof. It's so we have a definitively established you as an individual, you're just against the music, or you think the massive reform is needed in that whole sector. You can just answer yes or no.
Yeah, I think they should rethink the whole strategy, and
as long as they're making cash, they won't.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I'm sure they can rethink it to where the artists are not going to be so pissed off about it. The companies are going to be making some money from it, and everyone's going to be, good, fine. But no, they want to take, 95% of everything they can, and then give you 5%, and try to take that 5% as much as they can too.
Well, think about in terms of politics. There's similar arguments being made. Should we take money out of politics, like the influence that it has, or politician? Of course, the company that can donate millions of dollars to a politician is going to have a much more say on the platform that's presented than you and I, who can't even $5 to $10 is our spending limit to any one politician.
I'd say feel the burn.
Yeah, a lot of people are. Well, he didn't win New York, unfortunately. So they're already sort of writing him off.
Yeah, I know he wouldn't make it too far. He's doing pretty good, but he's not He's not going to be going very much further because of the fact that they keep saying he's a socialist.
Well, think what
he wants to give free things to everybody.
He openly says he's a socialist, or social and democratic socialist, whichever silly word you want to use. It's socialism. And he still managed to get a significant sizable following from people in our generation.
Yeah.
So that's at least shown, like, even with all the stigma and all the sort of mudslinging that term brings along, he still managed to get that close, even if he doesn't go all the way.
Yeah,
that close. It's pretty significant. And maybe the next candidate in the next 4 years, somebody can have a similar message.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll get it going further.
It's not quite over yet, that I know of.
No, it's not over yet.
So he
it's not over yet, but he's got an uphill battle to go.
Well,
you have to be a little bit realistic.
It's not his first time to do that, though.
It's not his first time to do it. He's been in politics long. I mean, look, last thing I want to do is continue the two family dynasties we've been having of Bush and Clinton with Obama in the middle of that. But in the last 30 years, we've had two families running this country. Obama being, again, the exception to that. Yeah. But it's been Bush, Clinton, Bush, and then Obama, and then possibly again Clinton. That seems like a little bit undemocratic.
Yeah.
Like it seems
it's a long time for some Clinton Bush.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. This is a family show, my friend. This is a family show. You gotta make that joke.
You gotta have a strong black man in the middle of it all.
To fill it out. Otherwise, what has Pornhub taught us all?
Yeah.
Wait, that's what if we had a soundboard, we would put the ba-bum.
Yeah.
A drum set somewhere.
Yep.
But not steering away from politics, although we could keep going on that subject pretty easily.
Probably could.
And how it configured. We can even probably bring it back to music, but I think we set our piece on that.
Well, Tipper Gore.
Tipper Gore. Man, fuck Tipper Gore.
That's politics back to music. There you go.
No, that's the thing. Now I'm going to go nowhere. You have to bring up Tipper fucking Gore and Al Gore. The poster children of progressivism. First, the left wing. Al Gore is presenting that. God fucking damn it, in the 80s and the 90s, these two were the people spearheading censorship, and they're pretty much trying to bring down free speech.
Yep.
But yet they somehow now position themselves because they say they're part of the Democratic Party or something, as they're the poster. It's all about perception. It's the same thing like in music. Politics, music, doesn't matter. If you're a public guy, it's just what do people perceive you as? So, it doesn't matter that Al Gore and Tipper Gore try to stop free speech, try to restrict what you listen to, try to control what you can buy in a free society. They still, because somehow they've been put under the label of, they're left wing and the Democrats. Therefore, we just accept that and we go, and they're part of symbols of that and part of the progressive movement or something like that. Well, fuck that shit. I don't buy into that crap. And and I just had to point it out there because it needs to be repeated over and over again. Whenever Tipper Gore's and Al Gore's names are brought up, especially by people in the music field, especially people who consider themselves more liberal and left wing in the music industry, just know who your bedfellows are.
Yeah.
When it comes to that. And heck, if I ever met Al Gore, I'd tell him that to his face. I'd have no problem doing that whatsoever, and he should have to account for that.
Yeah.
But you made your bed, lie in it.
Yeah, it is true.
Speaking of lying in it, how's Prince's autopsy going?
It's been completed from what I was reading, and
they're not going to release all.
Yeah, that's the thing is what is it? They're doing all the other tests, the toxicology and all that stuff, and they've completed what they had to do. They were just waiting for the results for some of the other stuff. His body has been released to the family and been cremated. That's what I just read. So he's been burnt to a crisp.
Oh.
And I don't know what went from there. But
tasteless.
But he went just like my mother. Crispy
smooth?
Crispy. Yeah. Because it's the cheap way. I'm amazed that they cremated, but isn't he a Jehovah's Witness? Wasn't he not supposed to be cremated or something?
I don't think Jehovah's Witnesses are against cremation.
Oh, okay.
It's a couple of other religions, the Muslims as well as the Eastern Orthodox Christians and a few other sects are against cremation. But Jehovah's Witnesses, I don't know if they have an opinion on it.
No, I thought so.
Look, far be it from me to tell you what Almighty Jehovah wants and does not want.
Yeah. Well, I'm asking because aren't you the authority on crispy people? In German and all.
Oh. Das ist nicht komisch. Das ist ein blödes Witz. I am not amused by that.
Yeah. You are wearing your German pride shirt. It
is not a German pride shirt. I don't know if you can see it. It is a common, just regular German flag on my shirt. The Bundesrepublik.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a swastika though, on the side of my arm.
It's because you took it off from the other side.
Oh, well, just because you see a little bit of a stitching pattern doesn't mean anything. It could be anything. It could have been a happy face.
Sure.
Goddamn Irish drunk. Don't you have some booze to get to, Irishman? Why did we ever let your kind into this country?
Because we made it here by sneaking in.
That's right.
Like rats.
That's right. And then you bred just like them. You overtook the British Islands and then you came right on over here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's some bitch. And you introduced freckles and sunburns to us all.
Hey. You came from that way too, No,
I came from the other end.
With your direct line descendant to Eric the Red.
I am not related to Eric the Red. I'm not Danish, you son of a bitch.
Whatever.
Get your damn geography lesson.
Whatever.
See, now
he's the Viking. He went everywhere. You don't have to be Danish.
Yeah, but I don't think he ever made it quite to the Alps.
Yeah, Whatever.
How do we ever steer into this?
I don't know.
So
you said it was a free for all. So
that's what happens when you're a free for all. We start insulting each other's ancestry. Good thing neither one of us is French.
Sacré bleu.
Yeah, that's right. Otherwise, we would never talk about anything else.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the stinky cheese and the stinkiness of just France and the tours.
Man, Paris smells like a goddamn sewer. That's what it smells like.
They give tours of their sewers. They're proud of them. Yeah, whatever. But back to the music. French. France and Prince. Not that they're like really together, but anytime I think of France, I think of a Prince song, "Under the Cherry Moon" thing. Well, that whole movie he did, because it had, to me, kind of a French theme kind of sound to on some of the stuff, and so I just wanted to make that connection that I do think Prince had a little flavor of France in some of his stuff on top of everything else. But whatever. It's
the showy glitz and glamour of it all.
Yeah.
It's funny when I'm watching, anytime a celebrity dies, it's not funny watching a celebrity die. It's not, that came on wrong. That was badly worded on my part.
I know what you meant. Watching Joan Rivers die, everyone was laughing.
I don't think anybody even knew who the hell she was when she died. Like if you watch people, and this is going to relate to the point I was going to make, but like when you want to, like when Joan was died, the people were saddened by the great loss. It was people who worked with her and her family.
Yeah.
It's like there wasn't any person on the street. Her stand-up was freaking mean.
Yeah.
And I don't mean over the top funny. It was just mean. Yeah. And that's how her jokes went, at least towards the end. But as far as Prince goes, there was a CNN correspondent, Wolf Blitzer, who was talking about Prince's passing. And this is where I was going to say, all these people who probably have no clue anything about Prince now have to pretend that they care. Yeah. So it's like a Wolf Blitzer, CNN correspondent, one of the senior correspondents. He's an old guy and he has a gray beard, so he's wise.
Yeah,
he'll come on and he'll be like, I think the loss of Prince, a great loss. I think we all feel we'll all remember, of course, Purple Haze. That's an actual statement.
Wow.
Even Jimmy Kimmel made fun of it when I think he was the one interviewing him, and he said I think some of us remember it better than others.
Yeah.
Because but it doesn't happen a lot. It's all of a sudden you see these people, these talking heads, talking about how greatly they're influenced by these artists who I don't think they even knew who the hell it was until they got the cue cards.
Yeah. I don't trust half of those people and the news reports and whatever Fox News people.
I'm still waiting for the conspiracy. They don't really know
what the hell they're talking about for the most part. They're just trying to give you we're people, we feel for you, for the community like everyone else, blah blah blah.
Katrina has been drowned.
Here's the thing is actually I thought Prince was quite known by or at least known by everyone, in a sense, someone's heard him, everyone's heard him.
You at least know who he is, even if you don't know his songs.
I actually came across one of my coworkers, doesn't know who he was, didn't know any of his songs. I thought he was joking at first. He's not. I was amazed by that. I was like, seriously? You don't know Prince? He's been around for a long ass time.
At least the Batman soundtrack. You've got to know the Batman soundtrack.
And you don't know any of his songs? And it's he didn't know anything. I mentioned a couple different things, whatever. He was dead serious. He did not know it. And he's not young. He's my age, maybe slightly older. So he should at least know
it was who he was.
Yeah, he at least should have heard 1999. That was big in 1999. Everyone was playing that damn thing.
Even before
he didn't know it. He didn't. I'm still actually baffled by that. So there are people who supposedly don't know who he was. So I don't know. That's kind of weird.
I learned something new today. I mean, look, I understand someone says I wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't listen to it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah, they've heard of him, whatever.
Your taste are your taste. It's just, you should at least know that he's a dude that turned himself into a symbol.
Yeah.
If you know nothing else, you should know that.
Yeah. But yeah,
it's strange. And it also shows how you can get stuck, not stuck in your little bubble, but you and I might assume, when we talk about these people, musicians, artists, and genres, these might be common knowledge things, but a lot of times they're not.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know, even when we brought up perception on things that we've talked about, like the Sex Pistols. Some people might not know who the Sex Pistols are.
Yeah.
They only performed for like a year in the 70s.
That's the thing is, I mean, if it was like the younger generation, people younger than us, like, kids right now, 12, 14-year-olds, whatever, they may not know. That's okay. You weren't there. You didn't really hear them, whatever. But someone my age, at least, late 20s should know most of these artists because they've been in the, music thing or whatever. They've been around. Enough to where someone knows about it, someone's heard about it, a friend of a friend has mentioned them or something. You've seen people with the shirts or whatever. If it's younger kids, I would understand it. But this dude's, my age. So it's like, how the hell wouldn't you know any of that, How have you gone all this time without hearing things like that? And there are more people like that. Now, if you're like, super old, maybe too, like 60s, 70s, whatever, maybe you might not know some of these artists. Okay, but
are you saying then?
Somewhat know.
Do you think something. That this is? Are you more shocked when someone might not know about certain musicians, or then if someone doesn't know certain? Let's say if you're not interested in politics, so you don't know all the political players.
Yeah.
Someone mentions, who the secretary of this or that is.
Yeah.
And you might be like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
But they might look at you like, well, this is common knowledge. You should know this.
Yeah.
This is something you should understand. How do you not know who the Secretary of the Interior is? How do you not know, Brian?
Yeah. And that's the thing is, I mean, I guess you could see it in that way, but with music, it's a whole lot different thing because everyone listens to music. As much as people say, some people say, oh, I don't listen to music. They do. If they watch any sort of television, they're hearing music because there is music in everything. Commercials, there's jingles. What's a jingle? Music. You're in an elevator. What's in the elevator? Elevator music. It's all music. You go in a department store. There's music.
The music
everywhere you go, there's music. So you can't say you don't listen to music. I've actually gotten into arguments over that. With people. It's like, I don't listen to music. Well, music is on right now. Are you deaf? Is that why you don't listen to music? I'll only accept the fact that you don't listen to music is if you're deaf. If I have to use my hands to talk to you, then you're off the hook of you don't listen to music. Now, the statement like you don't listen to music on your free time or you don't, spend time just enjoying certain artists, okay. But you do listen to music no matter what you say, you still listen to it. People
Maybe
talking can
what
be
if
melodic.
Somebody told you
music.
I don't enjoy music.
I've had people tell me that. And it's like,
that's not the same
that's a difference.
That's not as literal as it.
Yeah, that's a difference.
Maybe that's what some of them mean.
Yeah, well, I've had people tell me that. It's
I
like,
don't
okay,
care.
well, there's a difference
I
between
don't care
that.
about
you
music.
may not like to listen to music. You may not enjoy, like, you don't sit back and just, listen to Mozart or whatever. That's fine. But you still listen to it. We actually, as human beings, listen, or even mammals, we listen to music before we're even born. There's studies to where, pregnant women are playing music, like classical music, while the baby's still in the womb, and they can hear it. The heartbeat of a human is musical, it's melodic. Mm-hmm. Babies hear it. We are naturally prone to hear beats and tones in music. And so it's hard for me to say, is like, okay, you don't listen to music. Bullcrap.
From the viewpoint of anthropology, the I'm choking the word, the universal nature of music kind of attests to the fact that there is something much deeper going on between, the connection that people have to these sort of sounds or rhythms and things like that. I think every culture, and I know someone's going to find some obscure culture somewhere that doesn't have it. Every major culture, every major civilization, let's put it that way, has developed some form of musical expression, even if it's just chanting. Yeah. Even if it's just on the level, it's the way we bond with each other as animals, as human animals.
That's the thing is, I mean, if you really want to get down into like, the craziness of things, you can say speech is a musical thing because there are melodies and rhythms to speech. So, you can actually get down to it's like, well, when you talk, you are doing music, and no matter what, it doesn't matter what style or language or whatever you're speaking, you are still doing some tonal vibration and, you know, gymnastics to get your words to mean something. You know, say something. If not, we just sound like this, which is still music. It's still something, you know? And so I can really get in that argument. And yes, you can call me stubborn for it. It's like, well, no, that's a different thing. It's, you know, whatever. But still, I can make the argument no matter what, there's music.
If you put a really broad definition of music.
Yeah, I guess.
Then, yeah. But I always found it interesting in this way. From an evolutionary standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
You know, evolutionary meaning that where it's about survival.
Yes.
It's some prosperity and things like that, prospering and surviving. The first person that decided to sing their thoughts instead of just speaking.
Yeah.
There's really no reason for like from an evolutionary standpoint for them to do that.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it adds anything more to that expression.
Yeah.
It was purely for entertainment. There is an artistic instinct in us.
Yes.
In the human ape. Like we're just natural germ to that. We'll pick out, you know, like gems and stones and things like that have just a shape or a color that we find interesting. You know, cave paintings attest to, you know, they weren't all just maps to show us where to hunt. When not to hunt, a lot of it was just expressions of things that we saw around each other, you know, and making, you know, decorating our surroundings. So I think music very much falls into that same sort of instinct, and that's why it's important, and that's why we get drawn into it.
Yeah, it's an artistic thing, and I mean, I can go into you know, kind of the politics of it, because I think it's sad that in schools they are getting rid of the arts a lot of places, which is music and
budget cuts.
Art and stuff, and they say it's budget cuts and whatever else. Yeah, but it still helps with the learning process. As much as some people may fight it, it does help people learn. Because when you're studying, at least when I'm studying, I like to listen to some music when I'm doing something. You know, I don't just sit there with silence and be like, okay, let me study, because I just get bored.
It's what happens when you have an educational system that cares more about standardized testing than it does about education. Where the bottom line is, did you bubble in the right letter in that?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what teachers are sort of forced to teach them, because the teachers are judged based on how well the classrooms do on these tests. So they have to focus on that. They have to focus on just the basic practicality of vocabulary and things like that.
I've actually talked to some teachers about that, and I said, well, why don't you turn music and art into bubbling in answers A, B, C?
But they would take away from it.
It's going to be, you have to paint by numbers. A, B, C is green, and you know, whatever. Yeah, do that. Then maybe it doesn't get rid of it.
But I think, but the problem is if you confine it in that sense and take away the creative element or that spark, that you know, the freedom of expression, all of a sudden everything is restricted. It's like in the Soviet Union when they had like they produced a lot of paintings, you know, of the leaders and the revolution.
Well, that's all
and things
they could
like that. But yeah, but a lot of it, and it looks realistic, but it doesn't really inspire anything. Yeah. Because you can obviously tell it was commissioned by somebody who really didn't give a crap probably about it.
It's kind of like the Renaissance stuff, you know, a lot of it was commissioned. There's, you know.
But a lot of it, here's the thing, you need to understand the generations prior to the Renaissance, a lot of it was commissioned by the church, you know, in order to make it, that's why a lot of it was religious oriented. Yeah. But the centuries before that, you weren't allowed to do any of that. Yeah. At all. The Renaissance, they were looking back. They looked back to the sort of forgotten wisdom and knowledge of the Greeks and the Romans before them. Yeah. And they used the tools and techniques they saw there to, and that inspired them. Now, they did it within a context that, so they wouldn't get persecuted by the established power there. Yeah. But it was very much, in my opinion, a sign of rebellion against the order that existed. Yeah. Regardless of what it is. I agree with that. Because it focused more on the here and now and the beauty around us than it did in some imaginary hereafter. Yeah. You know, and I think music should be allowed to flourish in the same way. Maybe we need a renaissance in music.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that'd be one thing. That'd be revolutionary.
The hippies tried it, but it got bought out pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah. You know, damn hippies. They gave up.
They got stoned, and then they just got lazy. They got the munchies, and then they disappeared.
But, I think we should probably
end it on this note
because we'll go on and on. And
we will go on. We should have more of these free falls, though.
We'll go crazy and run out of space.
And this is
on stuff.
By the way, this is a podcast, the testament. We'll end on this note to the people. When I say like we and I have these conversations all for years, and we just now started putting a microphone to them, like when we started this podcast.
Yeah.
We go like this all the time, from topic talking about this. So that's why it's not hard for us to do this.
Yeah.
It's just what we do.
Oh yeah.
And we'll continue to do it next time.
Yep.
No, you guys have a good day.
Alrighty, guys. See you.